Spider-Man just got brutally destroyed by Vulture and Sandman, only to be saved by his absolute worst enemy. The AracKnight Returns throws Peter Parker into a literal nightmare. Empire City is under siege by this deadly tag team tearing the streets apart to find the preserved brain of Dr. Octopus. Spider-Man tries to stop them but gets completely wrecked, waterboarded with sand and trapped in a vacuum tube to suffocate. Right as he is dying and hallucinating a team-up with Captain America, he wakes up in a high-tech healing tank. The guy who pulled him from the brink of death is none other than Norman Osborn. Now Spider-Man has to form an unholy alliance with the Green Goblin just to survive. A disgraced mad scientist just got snatched out of mid-air by a winged assassin, and Empire City is about to become a war zone. A year after surviving total chaos, the city tried to secretly fly in Dr. Jonas Harrow. He is a black market brain surgeon needed to hack into the preserved brain of a dead supervillain. But before Harrow even lands, a mercenary called the Vulture rips the back of his private jet. Harrow gets sucked out into the sky, only for the Vulture to catch him mid-fall while the plane crashes. The bad guys are making a massive play for ultimate power, but they are about to find out this city has a knight waiting in the shadows. Spider-Man is officially public enemy number 1 in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Mayor J. Jonah Jameson is running the remains of Empire City, and someone is snatching up the world's top scientists right outside his gates. First, a plane carrying a controversial doctor crashes with 0 bodies found. Then, a literal monster-shaped sandstorm wipes out a heavily armed convoy, stealing 2 genius biochemists who were supposed to recreate the super soldier serum. Jameson is absolutely convinced Spider-Man is the mastermind behind the sabotage. With Peter Parker mysteriously missing on assignment, it looks like a classic rogue is brewing up a massive storm while framing our favorite web-slinger. Peter Parker is hooking up with Mary Jane during a gamma bomb explosion, while Norman Osborn completely loses his mind. Peter and MJ are camping in the desert to watch a military weapons test. They get so distracted, they ignore the massive blast and a sandstorm stealing their wine. Meanwhile, Norman Osborn has been hiding underground for a year, looking like a crazy hermit with tissue boxes on his feet. He is talking to Dr. Octopus's living brain, floating in a jar alongside the preserved body of the lizard. Norman is building pumpkin bombs and plotting to put Oc's brain into a superior body. Supervillains never actually die, they just wait in jars until their next plot. There is a wild alternate Spider-Man universe where Uncle Ben never died and actually runs Peter's mission control. Instead of a tragic backstory, Peter comes home from patrol to Ben cooking pancakes and feeding him police intel about the Sinister Six. While they track down the Vulture and Sandman, which leads to Peter dropping a hilarious Anakin Skywalker rant about hating sand, the real threat is political. J. Jonah Jameson is the corrupt mayor of Empire City, and he is literally paying off mercenaries in dark alleys to assassinate Spider-Man. Having Uncle Ben as the man in the chair, while Mayor Jameson plays the ultimate villain, is the multiverse twist we never knew we needed. Sandman just pulled the most ruthless Terminator move in comic history to take out Commissioner Stacy. Spider-Man is hitching a ride on a police chopper, heading toward a massive Dieselpunk skybridge. Vulture and Sandman are holding the construction site hostage. Stacy thinks he can negotiate with them like regular criminals, but he is dead wrong. Vulture distracts the cops, while Sandman goes full T-1000. He morphs into a giant sand blob, smashes his granite head straight through the helicopter windshield, and spills right into the passenger seat. Before Stacy can even react, Sandman forms a massive clay fist and punches the Commissioner out the door into the clouds below. Some characters are just destined to fall so Spider-Man can grow. Spider-Man just suffered the most brutal WWE-style tag team beatdown of his entire life. He swoops in looking like a legend, saving Commissioner Stacy and telling the cops to stand down. He drops onto the bridge, acting super cocky and talking trash to Sandman. His webs pass right through the sand, but before he can adjust, Vulture hits him with a blindside clothesline that turns him inside out. While Spidey is still floating in mid-air, Sandman catches him with a literal RKO out of nowhere. Vulture finishes him off with a flying double foot stomp to the gut. It is a harsh reminder that acting untouchable usually gets you destroyed. Spider-Man just got absolutely wrecked by Sandman and Vulture over a dead guy. These two villains cornered a bleeding Spidey with an insane ransom demand. They want Dr. Octopus back, or they are dropping the entire city into the ocean. There is just one massive problem. Doc Ock is already dead, and Spider-Man literally watched him die. Realizing there is a mole in the police department, a busted-up Spider-Man sneaks into Commissioner Stacy's hospital room to plot the ultimate counterattack. Since they cannot hand over a ghost, they are setting a massive trap instead. Stacy is calling in his heavy hitters, including Frank Castle, to end this. The Sinister Six have absolutely no idea what is coming. Nick Fury is baiting the Sinister Six with a fake robot brain, while Sandman literally crumbles to dust. The S.H.I.E.L.D. director just crashed Mayor Jameson's office to team up with Commissioner Stacy. Their master plan is to use a robot decoy of Dr. Octopus's missing brain to trap Vulture and Sandman. Spider-Man is secretly eavesdropping from the roof, realizing Fury is putting a target on his back next. Meanwhile, hiding in a vintage toy store, Sandman is losing his ability to stay solid. Vulture forced some kidnapped scientists to design a containment suit just to keep his buddy alive. The ultimate heist for Doc Ock's brain is about to tear this city apart. Spider-Man is going full Batman to stop a fake robot brain heist. Empire City is getting ripped apart by Sandman and the Vulture, but this entire crime wave is just a massive distraction. The villains are holding the city hostage for the preserved brain of Dr. Octopus. To fight back, the cops are building a high-tech decoy brain to trick them. Meanwhile, Vulture is secretly hoarding rare gems to power his weapons, and the police just got laser guns from a shady benefactor who is quietly tracking Spider-Man. The ultimate showdown drops at midnight on the Skybridge, and our web-slinger is swinging straight into a deadly trap. Spider-Man just walked straight into the most claustrophobic trap of his entire life. He thought he was being smart by staking out a ransom drop early to ambush Sandman and the Vulture. But when Sandman swallows the ransom box whole and it vanishes, Spidey jumps down to investigate and gets sucked into a hidden pneumatic tube system. He is literally trapped in a tight pipe under Empire City filled with radioactive waste. Vulture is waiting at the bottom, revealing this exact toxic sewer permanently grafted his mechanical suit to his body. Since the ransom box was a fake, Vulture is about to make Spider-Man pay the ultimate price. Spider-Man is secretly a government agent and just got recruited by Nick Fury to save Tony Stark. He was literally getting tortured to death by Vulture and Sandman. We are talking sand waterboarding and getting crushed in a vacuum tube. Right as he is about to pass out, a massive gas explosion rips through the room because he planted a tracker for backup. He blacks out and wakes up in a luxury high-tech hospital. Nick Fury walks in, calls him Agent Parker, and drops a massive bombshell. Peter has been undercover this entire time. Now Fury needs him to hunt down a radioactive green giant and rescue Tony Stark from a hidden rebel base. The friendly neighborhood hero just became a super spy. Spider-Man just woke up in a sci-fi healing tank, only to realize his worst enemy saved his life. Peter was having a crazy fever dream about teaming up with Captain America when the hallucination melted away. He snaps back to reality, floating in a Bacta tank, his body completely broken. A creepy voice starts lecturing him about power. The fluid starts boiling, and the shadow of a familiar glider hits the glass. It is Norman Osborn. The guy who ruined Peter's life just rescued him from a public execution. But it is not out of kindness. Osborn wants an unholy alliance to save their city. Now Peter has to choose between teaming up with a monster or getting his life support unplugged. Spider-Man just got saved from a brutal death by his absolute worst enemy. In this wild alternate universe, Sandman and Vulture are tearing Empire City apart to find the preserved brain of Dr. Octopus. Spidey tries to stop them, but gets completely wrecked. They trap him in a glass tube, drain the oxygen, and leave him to suffocate. Right as he passes out, an explosion goes off. He wakes up floating in a high-tech healing tank, expecting the Avengers to be his saviors. Instead, he is staring right at Norman Osborn. The Green Goblin kept him alive because he needs a partner to take back his city. Sometimes you have to make a deal with the devil to survive.